Hello, Pulavas. Welcome back to Aden. On today's episode, we are having Aden Joseph versus IBRA SSEJEMBA on the race to 7 match. Make sure, bro. Make sure. I need the one you need. Come on, get it. Game good. Pumpty. Game it, Joe. Respond. Your best. No, I don't know. Let's get fun. I'm on it. Event at the African Ultimate Pool Championships in 2025. It is one of the bigger matches that you can have on one fighting for his life and down by one frame to nail it. With commentary and streaming from myself, Peter Charles. And how about that for a shot over a neatness, over a pattern from the guy that is called the killer, who now equalizes. It is IBRA 1 and Aden 1. It is going to be just about 2 years ago in there. That was 2023 in the round of last 16 of the Mchana, the Grand Mchana Open. They were racing to 9. Aden was out. Nigeria. They are also racing to 7, and it is the stand-up to play race taking little time between shots. One takes way more time. Both very accomplished. I think it's about 5 Ugandans, if not 6 in the last 8. And in their first life, it is all for Ugandans. In the semi-finals, there has been a miscue by IBRA. He will not be happy with himself, but the consolation is that the rules are international 8 ball. Aden, IBRA simply has the loss of turn. He didn't have the cue ball in hand. He will want to play one shot that splits all of his reds, and hopefully for Aden make a clearance which will regain his lead back in the match. That we are having Namibian participants in this one, but believe you me, they are very good shooters. Be reminded that Uganda's Ian Kazura was defeated by a Namibian boy. It's called Erastus. He's damn good stunner. Is considered to be Namibia's number 1. South Africa's number 1 is opening up ball by ball, putting up one after another. When he puts cue ball may not be natural for another read, that's why he needs big spin on it, and yet it moves just a little towards. Now when he puts it with cue ball bouncing off the cushion, it is natural for the second read to the corresponding center pocket at the top, which will as well play by roll to maintain cue ball for the frozen ball. Just like that, you'll see the cue ball bouncing it off the cushion, and oops. I want to think that Aden made it a little winning by 21 frames to 16. IBRA playing. Technique was no here. Hey. There is a foul by Aden. And how neatly he has connected yellow to another. Aden did him a big favor, not only by fouling, but also playing the black ball close to the pocket. This is where I like to say that the rest is a formality. He may want to put both yellows to the same corner pocket. He has no problem with his pattern play. He's at his very best when he needs to perfect a pattern. And the little magician in the IBRA SSEJEMBA now gets to certainly put the black and gain the lead in the match. IBRA SSEJEMBA 2 and Aden Joseph. This is the break by IBRA. Goes for the pyramid break, sinks in the cue ball and the yellow. Here we go. He's one of those top African players, IBRA, who has 9 times out of 10. Aden will finish this frame with one piece of the table. He's going for the yellows and has closed the tables. The table playing yellows. South African youngster Taufik 2. Ibrahim Kayanja of Uganda 3. Jeremiah Nigel Jerry 2. from South Africa and Stana from Namibia 3. Also action happening between Chile Shemobanga, Chile Bubo and Malvan Mukwanza. We shall be getting updates from that one, as well as another big match between Mercy from Cape Town in South Africa taking on Ginte. Is way better off the cushion. How safe will he be? In my opinion, not safe. So be reminded here, viewers, that we must reach another cushion, whether or not there was a total smoker. That is why there was the foul by Aden, and IBRA was attentive, and it's a standard foul with the cue ball in hand, and this is how IBRA is seemingly making a clearance of frame number 4. This is how the killer is likely to take a 3-1 lead against the Ghosts. Here he is, another backspin. We are watching a little stop effect on the cue ball. He will want to manipulate cue ball now to put the last red besides the one he's looking at to the center pocket at the top where he's having his body. Oops, is going for. Yes, also avoid the contact in white and black. And he avoided it neatly in this competition, yes, at least in the second life in the current run of play, because he seems to be playing a guy not only talented but also determined and has the ability to take him down like he has done before. IBRA versus the black, extending lead. This is the killer now. 3 and the Ghost 1. Stanford given Gate for Zambia 1. Ibrahim Kayanja Uganda 3. Best in the business. Best in the business. The best. Now look at this. The prize for defeating their respective countrymen is a match against themselves. Now how about that? For a shot of criticism from the Ghost, playing on the verge of winning a first frame out of 3, bank is off. That's right. Yet another chance on 4. That's right. That's right, bro. For 5 years, a growing rivalry between Ugandan and South African players. I have to say that personally, I give it to Aden for never getting shy of Uganda. Then Aden was very dominant in South Africa. IBRA told me that he wanted to become as dominant in Ugandan pool as Aden, who was dominant in South African pool. Since Aden's dominance was curtailed in African pool, IBRA's dominance was curtailed in Ugandan pool, and both curtailed players now have to sort out each other. One of them will want to put both yellow, perhaps, and black, maybe to the same center pocket. That is the pattern that I always as for this, the guy that has become known as the killer on the verge of leading with 4 frames. It's the kind of performance IBRA SSEJEMBA around in the men's singles. There, after that round, we shall have the quarterfinals in the team events. And then tomorrow, the team events shall have its semi-finals. And I'm saying if needed, because it is possible that one person could be number 1 and 2. The few players that are left in with 2 lives, if I'm not mistaken, it is Aden and Malvan Mukwanza. If one of them is defeated, then we shall be having a grand final tomorrow, that is on Saturday. Of course, you now always need to be playing well, and you need luck on your side. Even his angles and the body of the table is deciding, I want to say suspiciously, to play the yellow close to the black first. Maybe not so suspicious. You normally, if you're going for the time, you normally go for the worst of all your balls. And he's spinning the keyboard just a little match that is coming up in the next session. Of the more renowned victories of his career, which stems back to 10 years, and the yellow that is further against the cushion. If he successfully plays it into the corner pocket top left by rain dive, he will probably be another frame to the good. There is something of a shot because he has to maintain power balance, and because of the big cut, he's deciding perhaps to play it last. Simply rolling the yellow ball to the center pocket where there is the black, moves the cue ball towards the bottom end of the table, where he'll have perhaps good fight for him to roll the last yellow to the corner pocket. It was a simple roll, And he's wisely digging some kind of cut between white, yellow, and the cushion, such that if he is on target, keyboard will be moving naturally towards the middle of the table where he needs it to port black to the center pocket. It has to be accurate in terms of the port and power balance. The port is accurate, power balance even better. The killer is on the verge of killing the ghost. IBRA SSEJEMBA 5, Aden 1. How is it time? Check the don't fall down. How is it time? Check. Wait. That's because how is it time? Both sides. Both sides. Maboti Botieni, South Africa 2. Tamijababu, South Africa 4. Taufik, South Africa 4. Masi, South Africa 4. Stunner, Namibia 3. Jeremiah Naido, South Africa. Squad. No, Masi is on 4, and Malawi. And Malawi is stand for Driven Ginte is on 5. Right? While Stunner is on 3, and Jerry is now on 6. Aden is on 1, on the verge of winning his second. As long as he ports yellow to the center pocket, keyboard play into the red, he will definitely be porting black to the corner pocket, perhaps bottom right. There it was. I know he can't miss. Aden 2 and IBRA 5. Here we go, Aden, here we go. Here we go, Aden, here we go. Now is the time for championship. Only you can understand. Competition All African playing Ultimate Pool International rules here in Bombela District, Mpumalanga Province, right at Thursday, October 16th. Aden Joseph is taking on one of his rivals, IBRA SSEJEMBA. And so far, the hunter is being hunted because it is the Ugandan IBRA that is enjoying a 5-2 lead. Well, I call it money match because it has been one money match in Uganda when Aden toured the country, defeating IBRA in a race to 21 by 21 frames double life basis in 2022. As he misses already Africa, the South African tournament, South Africa also having the biggest number of participants, having the biggest number of players. Therefore, in the yellow close, the black will be disturbing. He needs the black ball a little bit interlocked. Is clearly playing like a guy possessed, fighting for his life. He's on one life in this tournament and wants to redeem himself. He wants to redeem himself so badly in the same comp that provided him the last time that he defeated Aden. As for Aden, since then, IBRA needs to perfect this rail drive. And it's off target, and he's losing the frame. Don't want to go for it. Don't want to even. Perhaps he became a little bit complacent. Maybe he ought to have known that you don't go for a shot so risky. When your opponent is Aden, you better have a little bit of defense. And just like that, Aden is winning a second in a row. And there he does. It is Aden 3 and IBRA 5. There. Make sure IBRA. IBRA, make sure. Just in case you're on in a big match, he's having the problem of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellows. Not easy whatsoever to make a clearance, but if there is one player you will even dare to think can make a clearance of these yellows, especially on a ultimate table, that player is Aden. 5. That one is now turning into a rest 2. While Jeremiah Naido has defeated Stunner by 7 frames to 3. Now that is Aden playing ball off another. Now the purpose of in his current visit of the table, this one is a very critical shot, also very clinical. Watch, observe. Aden Not really. It is a foul, but from his own perspective, it won't work for him. I want to taking all of the time. It must be thoughtful shooting. And it has been very good for Aden, maybe going for center pockets on the right of two cushions. I think so. He has gone instead for a tactical foul. Yes. I think he will be good to go. Yes, he does. Moving the keyboard to the bottom end of the table. That is niceness from the 2,600 people plus watching the same match combined on Facebook and YouTube as IBRA misses, and it could be a very consequential miss. And he wants to make this one another of those big comebacks he has been producing in the African pool over the years. He does know how to speak the language of the keyboard. Aden, bouncing off, by having the keyboard bounce off the cushion and then moving the opposite direction. It is direct line between white, yellow, and corner pocket top, whereby if Aden pots, he will probably winning the frame. Big shot, this one is. Big shot, Aden, please. And pots. The same chick is watching it. Who is this? Aden, 4, and IBRA, 5. Still remains simply watching and following as Aden's number 1 fan, Pilani, remains tormenting him. Is that what that's it? That's his namesake, has exited the competition entirely. Now look at how good that keyboard is. One of them seems uncertain, by the way, because it's right behind the red. It is the reason why IBRA is now positioning the cue ball in such a way. Oops. I thought he was going to play the center pocket here first. I did not imagine it is possible. I have to say I'm not so sure, at least from my swimming position, which is pretty much a viewing position. And it is a miss, not just a miss, but is now starting to give way. For once, IBRA lost his pattern. The yellow that he played last shouldn't have been the ball that would have been played last match, especially if it was the would be dead of all the yellows that were left on the table. Normally, as a good pattern, it's supposed to be played not as the last ball. And he's about to learn that when you're having a player like Aden chasing you, every time you get an opportunity to win a frame, utilize it, or else he will. No. Come on, the side of Alice and Jinjo. Oftentimes, but he is what the ghost. Watching up the red he's looking at will be obvious. As soon as much as he doesn't get himself snookered, he'll be good to go. Of course, he will never get snookered from that kind of rain, but cue ball is so close to red. Perhaps just close enough. He will want to put red to the corner pocket close to the screen bottom and the black to the corresponding corner pocket at the right, just like that. And ladies and gentlemen, after going 5 frames to 1 down, the South African equalizers, it is now Aden 5 and there we go, there we go. One is down. Now you are almost thinking that he's the big favorite now to win this match and maintain both of his lives into the quarterfinals, either side of the only non-South African player into the last 4 of one life and perhaps the last 8 of another. 2 matches, that is. There shall be semi-finals and quarterfinals respectively in the first and second life of the competition. And then on Saturday, we shall have just 3 matches. First, the grand final of the competition. And then, you're putting it is possible. That's the shot. His second life to the quarterfinals, what his first life is as well. Aden had play black, to the center pocket by back. He goes for the normal roll, simply tap on it. And yes, Aden 6. Now, if IBRA doesn't win this ongoing frame, that will be his last. When you have a guy like Aden tormenting you now, winning frame after frame after frame. The ghost is closing the table playing the reds. Yes, after thinking out so much and avoiding snooker behind yellow. And he's on the verge, clearly on the verge. Four reds on this. How good will the cue ball be? His intention is to have whites to probably put the red to the center with cue ball across the cushion, and Aden misses. The chance he has given, I want to think that probably he didn't see it coming, and yet again IBRA Let's Go, sponsored by the My Dear brands, all the way from Cape Town in South Africa, presenting to you the best of African pole right here in Mpumalanga province, Mbombela district in South Africa. My test player from South Africa today, Aden Joseph, needing to win one more shot for him to complete a mighty comeback against Uganda's IBRA SSEJEMBA in one of what is most known matches of the competition so far, in which the Uganda led by 5 frames to 1, and yet the South African has won the last 5, now on the verge of winning a 6th, which will be the 7th overall in a race to 7. The rest is a formality. Aden Joseph, the ghost, for the black, for the pot, for the win, for the kill, for the victory, he shoots and wins. It was a real fight, but the bigger player staged the bigger comeback and rose up on the big occasion. A deserved victory